What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today's topic we're going to be discussing is beaters. Yes, those cooked shoes that you have that you just can't quite get rid of. Keep them, you hold on to them for sentimental values. They're just comfortable. They're some of your favorite shoes. They haven't retroed them or re-released them yet, so you don't want to get rid of that pair until the new pair comes out. Whatever the case may be, we all have them. If you have a vast collection, you have some beaters. So what exactly are beaters to people that are not familiar with the terminology that we have in sneaker culture? Well, beaters are shoes that you keep in your closet that are a little bit worn down, they're kind of tore up, they're broken in, so they're extremely comfortable, they're extremely dirty. You've just ran through them. They're like the shoes you throw on to go run your errands. They're the shoes you throw on if you're going out and mowing the yard. They're the shoes you throw on when you're probably out gardening. They're ultimately the shoes that you have in your collection that you do not care if they get beat up. You do not care if they get dirty. You do not care if they get muddy. They're just shoes you just throw on when you're trying to go do XYZ and you're just ultimately not caring if they get beat up or they get dirty. In my collection, as of right now, currently, I think I only have one pair of beaters in my collection because about a year ago I did a purge, and as of right now, I also have a second purge I'm getting ready to do as well. I end up donating a giant box of shoes to Goodwill, and I'm in the process of doing that next for another set. So as of right now, I only have one pair of beaters in my collection, and it's this pair. My Nike Air Trainer 3 in the USA colorway. It's navy with pops of red. There's red on the strap. The Nike logo is red, the swoosh is red. There's Air Trainer 3, Nike Air on the back, and bottoms are red as well. But for the most part, it has red, white, and blue to replicate the USA or the Olympic colors. So they were never intended on being my beaters, but it just happened to be the case one day when I was needing to run some errands one day. I was in the closet and I was just trying to figure out what I was going to wear because I was just going to run out and come back real quick. I wasn't going to, be sitting out here trying to figure out what the shoe was going to be for the day and stuff like that. I really just needed to throw on some shoes to go run my errands or whatever. So, and these were the only ones that weren't in their shoebox at the time. So I was like, let me just throw them on and just hit the door. And they're the most comfortable shoes I had at the time. So it just kind of just became that by default. And then the more I wore them, the more they got broken in and the more they got worn. So they've just turned into this now. Like that's just what they just became, unfortunately. And it goes back to my original statement. Sometimes shoes become beaters because we keep them because they haven't released another pair of that particular shoe yet to replace these. And that's actually what happened with these. Like these came out maybe like 3 or 4 years ago, and Nike has not released another pair of them yet to replace these. So until that day comes, I'm gonna hold on to these. So, but yeah, that's just, the nature of the beast. In sneaker culture, we all have those shoes, whatever that particular shoe happens to be for you personally. You have some shoes that you hold to higher regards that you're just not gonna wear out. You're not gonna treat them that way. But then you also have shoes that either they release pretty frequently, so they're gonna always be coming out. Like, how some people are with their white Air Force Ones. They make Air Force Ones so much that you can always just go out and get another pair of white Air Force Ones. You can probably go get another pair of white Air Force Ones tomorrow if you have a beat up pair. Or like the the meme that the older guys always rock, the Air Monarchs, the dad shoes, the dad Nikes. They make them so much that you can always just go get a new pair of them too. Like that's just, some shoes, they just release them quite frequently that you don't have to just continue to dog these out. It's for you to be waiting for the newest pair. They release them so frequently that you can always just go and buy a new pair. But you know, in certain cases like this, I'm not gonna throw these out until they release the new pair, which Lord knows when that's gonna be. So, so what do you do in situations like that? So, for me, I try to keep these looking as clean or at least as presentable as I possibly can, even though they're like I've dogged them to hell and back. That's the point of today's video, is to talk about what beaters are and what we do with them, and discuss the whole lore behind them. But then also, like, do you clean them? Do you just keep them dirty? Like, is the dirt, like, you know, a rite of passage because they are dirty? Do you just keep them dirty just because they're your beaters? You don't care if they stay dirty. You don't care if they look like this. Do you just slip them on and go get the mail? Do you wear the backs down? Do you just slip them on like house shoes and the back of the shoe just be all like chewed up? Do you do that? Because some people do that too. They just slip them on and then they just eat the back of the shoe up because the shoe is just doing that because you're just sleeping them on. So, are you in the other part of that discussion where, like, yeah, there are my beaters, but I still want them to look okay? That's what I'm going to pose in the comments. Like, what do you do with your beaters? Do you keep them looking like crap? Do you clean them regularly? Is the beaters going to stay dirty and they're just dirty because that's just what you do to beaters? Like, so I guess the question is, that's what I'm going to pose in the comments. Like, what do you do and how do you treat your beaters? So comment below. Do you have another word for them? Do you call them something else? So yeah, just comment below, and let's get the dialogue going and have a discussion in the comments. So please, thank you so much for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe so we can keep more content going. And as always, thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great day.